first guest, love for animal rescue. She is also executive producer and starring in the Hallmark Channel original movie, True Love Blooms. Welcome back, Sara Rue. Welcome, Sara.
Sarah. Good to see you.
Great to have you. Thanks for helping me with that little cutie, that little min pin, as we call her.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about this film now. You play an urban gardener who actually manages the local community garden, right? And then somebody comes along into the garden who wants to plant something a lot more than just flowers.
That's right. So
like foundation.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
concrete.
That's right.
So my character runs this community garden that her dad started 20 years before, and it's really important to her and her family. And then a handsome developer, played by Jordan Bridges, comes in and he buys the land and he wants to build condos and rip out the garden. So they are at a bit of an impasse, but of course, it's a Hallmark movie. Sparks fly, things happen. Maybe a little love is, kindled. Perhaps.
I hope so.
Maybe the
Fingers
foundation that is poured is not concrete and more foundation of a relationship together.
There you go.
Writing
I feel like at one point the name of the movie was like, well, it was called From the Ground Up for a while.
You would know,
it was
as
called
executive
Garden
producer.
Party, and now we settled on True Love Blooms, which, it's
a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and it's perfect for spring.
It's
Speaking
giving
of
you all the spring feels that everybody wants.
So we have a clip where your character, Vicky, is explaining to your potential love interest, Evan, the beauty of an urban garden versus throwing up a building. Let's take a look.
Step into my parlor and tell me, what do you like? Just take a look around and see which flowers speak to you, and we'll go from there.
These.
Yeah?
My mom would always plant them.
See, you've got gardening in your blood. Trust me, you're going to be a natural. So these will be the centerpiece, and we'll just find other flowers that complement them. Anna! Yes? You want to help us pick some plants? Sure. Great. So take a look around, see what else you want.
Just, okay.
Yeah.
His mom used to plant azaleas. The plant he got you is an azalea.
Stop it and help.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now, I know that this movie was pretty personal to you, given your own experience with your parents' New York City community garden.
Yeah. So I grew up in New York City, and my parents were members of the community garden on 96 and Broadway. And some of my fondest childhood memories are going to that garden and planting flowers. And I remember my dad taking my finger, and we would pet sleeping bumblebees. I kid you not. Like, it was so wonderful. And I think, again, growing up in Manhattan, there wasn't a lot of nature.
Right.
If we saw a pigeon, you were real excited.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
oh my God. So going to the community garden was a big deal. And then a developer came in, bought the garden, ripped it out, and built a giant skyscraper.
Literally, where was Vicky?
So exactly. We needed a Vicky. I was too little. I couldn't have done it. I was just a
96
kid.
on Broadway, though, that must have been some location for a
prime real
community
estate.
garden.
It's where the
my
Columbia
goodness.
is now, if you know that building.
There you go.
But yeah, so I brought this idea to my best friend Elias, who's a romantic comedy writer, and we went into Hallmark and we pitched it and sold it, and then he worked on the script and we developed it together, and then a year later they greenlit it and we got to shoot it.
Good for
it's
you.
Really fun.
I love that it's obviously tied to your own personal history, so much so that actually it was your grandfather, even one generation further back, that really kind of was responsible for you developing a green thumb.
Well, gardening has just, it's in my blood. I feel like I'm not as good. My grandpa was an amazing gardener, and I would go to his house and pluck a carrot right out of the ground, and his tomatoes were his prize thing. So look at those, 2.5-pound tomato. And
my goodness.
Yeah, they were so good. He wouldn't even put them in a salad. He'd just slice them and put them on a plate, and you'd have them. They were delicious. It was like pride and joy.
Oh my gosh, so this is really in your blood. This runs deep, generations.
Yeah, and then my mom and dad are big gardeners. So it's it's down to, I'm trying to keep it together for the family. And I feel like my thumb isn't as green as it should be, so I've just decided to make movies about gardening as opposed
and your characters have a very green thumb. So that's perfect.
And you're also trying to impart the green thumb on your children, which is really sweet. I know your two little girls are really interested in building a little herb garden.
Yeah, it's spring break, and so we decided we're going to plant an herb garden this spring break, which is really exciting. And, we've been trying to be eco-conscious here in Southern California, and we switched all our flowers to drought-tolerant plants. And,
that's cool.
I'm trying to teach them not only about gardening and cultivating their green thumb, but thinking about the world and like how to move forward.
That's
and,
very important. And we wanted to give you a little jump start, give your girls a little jump start on that herb garden.
We did,
for
actually.
spring break.
No
There you go, Deb.
Put together just a few little things. You have some mint, some basil.
guys.
I believe that's
oregano,
That's
right?
oregano. You gotta do one of those. That's the basil, the mint. If there's anything that's missing, you let us know
Yeah, let
because
us
we have
know.
some rosemary in the backyard we could
right.
give you.
And you guys are going to come over and plant these for me,
Yes.
yeah?
Well, with your greenish thumb, we think you'll do
I'll
very
do
well.
okay.
I think if you want them to survive, you guys can handle that. I'll do the heavy lifting or
This
something. I don't
is
know.
so nice, you guys. How
course.
special. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Take pictures and let us know.
I will.
How it comes
I
along.
will.
Yeah, now you can have them for all your cooking.
Yes,
know.
that's so true.
That's right. Put some of that basil on one of the cakes Duff is going to teach you how to make.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know my daughter wants to bake because of Duff. Like, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, you're sticking around for that.
Whole thing.
Exactly right. That's right. Be sure to watch Sarah on the Hallmark Channel original movie True Love Blooms this Saturday, April 6th at 8, 7 Central.